Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Greenlife Garden and Home DIY channel. It's your girl Rose. Stopping in today talking about fasting. As you see in the title, it is one of the F-bombs that I really did not um, talk about as being a part of my list. But like I told you when I did the last F-bomb video on, I think it was fun, I mentioned that Baby Green Life mentioned talking about fasting as well. So, fasting is one of those things, you guys, that is very, very, very important. I've got these glasses on because they help reflect that sun somewhat, so I could look in the camera and kind of see what I'm doing. So they looking crazy or whatever. It's okay. But fasting, yeah. So fasting is something that is very, very important. In my opinion, everybody should be practicing fasting. I think a lot of times people, when they hear fasting, or I would say back in the day when, um, before I really got to know what it was always a word that was connected to something spiritual, and in a sense, you know, I could see how, because we hear about it um, in say the Bible and different things of that nature. Going without food, substance. So you know, fasting can be done by anybody, regardless of what your purposes are. Um, when you fast, you are giving your body the opportunity to just really slow down, um, and be able to clear out a lot of the stuff that we have taken in, most of the time, that really doesn't need to be there. And it just makes space for your body to be able to take in other sources, and utilize them properly. When you are full to the rim, and you keep pouring in, and you don't give yourself a chance to really break things down, it could begin to form all sorts of toxicity in your system, which is terrible, because you'll start to break down and just feel real bad, sluggish, and a whole lot of other things. So one of the things with fasting that I would say, um, you learn is discipline. And to me, that's one of the things that we really, really need to be working on right now, because of all that is taking place and going on. You hear a lot right now about food shortages, and no matter what we think of it, a lot of us believe it's engineered. There's, shortages. A lot of it is factual, that you got containers sitting out there on the ocean that can't come in, as fast as they come in. They may not be able to get them unloaded, and then there's stuff on there that may not be any good anymore. So it's just a whole lot, concerning food in our country, in the country of America. And so I think you would be doing yourself a good service by learning how to um, cut back, learning how to fast. And fasting is one of those things that, not only does it help your body, you get discipline, with fasting as well. And I think a lot of the scare for most of us, is not having enough, or running out of food, or not being able to go into a store, for some that have not uh, did what they were told to do in order to get rights to go grocery shopping. Um, you know, it's a lot. And so what we got to do really is slow down, think things through, and use your mind. You got to understand that everything that we need, we are, you know, and it's truly already around us what we need. I think that because we have lost touch with nature, we don't really understand all the things out there that nature has to offer. You know, and even when you say that, some people say, well, you know, the environment is being screwed with, and you know, the seasons are somewhat off, and they're just playing with nature and just all sorts of things. But at the end of the day, you know, um, I do believe that there is still um, a higher power in control. And so I would say in the situation that we are in right now to do begin trying to fast, try to, you know, go without food for an extended period of time that you are able to um, do without it. Just test yourself. You know, you may have to push yourself a bit, and you know, and even with me saying that, I have to tell you that I'm not a doctor. Check with your doctor, make sure that fasting is okay for you, and you know, because you don't want anybody coming back trying to say that, you know, I did what you said, and you know, I wound up in the hospital or what have you. So do check with whoever you need to check with before you get started on anything anybody says on YouTube or any other social media site. I'm speaking from my experiences and from the experiences of others, and what I have seen work. Okay, so if you are going to start fasting, start slow. I would say start intermittent fasting first. And what that basically is within a 24-hour cycle, you are choosing a certain window in that cycle to not eat. Okay. Um, you will hear most people talk about 16/8, which is basically you're not eating for 16 hours, and that includes those hours that you are asleep as well. Um, and then the other 8 you are actually eating. And so within those 8 hours that you are eating, I would say still be mindful of what you are eating, because I got something flying around my head here. Because you know, if you're not mindful of what you're eating, you may lose weight. I've seen people intermittent fast and lose tons of weight that still ate tons of junk. You know, um, sugar is one of the most dangerous things that you really could be taking in, and we all eat it, you know, in some form or another. Um, but I would say just, you know, be careful what you're eating. Don't just think, well, you know, I want to lose a few pounds, because if you're giving your body what it needs and stop giving it stuff that it really doesn't need, you're going to lose anyway. So by intermittent fasting, you are still eating within the run of a day, you know, and you're also able to eat pretty much what you want within those 8 hours, or you can choose within those 8 hours to, you know, eat certain things, or you may choose to eat one meal within that 8 hour time frame. And you have some people that graduate from having an 8 hour window open to eating to just narrowing it down to like however long it take you to just eat one meal a day, which is also awesome, because you're giving your body a chance to really take that break that it needs, to take the pressure off those organs that are trying to organize this food and pull nutrients from it and digest it and get rid of the waste and all of these other things that the body is so capable of doing, um, if you give it the opportunity to do it without all the extras there to slow it down. Um, so yeah, fasting, I highly encourage it. I would say, again, start slow. You know, some people they fast at least once a week, some twice a week, some or say let's do it 3 days out of the month, or let's do it a half a day. We're not going to eat anything or drink anything, especially if it's within the run of a day. You probably could dry fast for a certain period of time, and then for that 8 hour window, 4 hour window, however much time you leave yourself open, you can eat and drink whatever you want to, or you can discipline yourself and take in those things that are going to serve the body well. So, um, and when we talk about spiritual, that's not something you're trying to do. That's who you are. We are spirit first. We are spirit beings first, and we are inhabiting a body. This body gets us around and makes us visible, and allow us to do certain things. And so we have to remember that, because I think when we look at this body, we are looking at it as if that is it. And whenever the body gives up the spirit, gives up the ghost, as we call it, that's it. But that is not it, because we are also energy. You know, energy does not die. Energy simply can be transferred to something else. It's not going anywhere, you know. Um, so we have to remember that. And because we are energy, we're electrical beings, and we should be taking in foods that are on that at a certain vibration or frequency that's going to help build us up. Um, and these are things that you can look into. This is no secret anymore, and it probably never really was. It's just things that we were not taught while we were younger, and so now when we hear it, or we hear somebody talk about it, it sounds like something far-fetched and um, alienated from us. And some people, you look at them as if, oh my gosh, you know uh, they're gone crazy. They're not you know they're not serving the God that I serve, talking like that or what have you. But some of this is science. I mean, real, factual, proven science. And it's just that we have not really been taught these things. So um, I would say stock up, if you while you're stocking up right now on things that are going to serve the body well. I wouldn't be so quick to grab things that is really um, not going to serve the body any purpose. And when I say stock up on things that'll serve the body well, I'm talking about things, these little things that we're really not thinking about and giving much consideration to. You definitely be surprised how little you will have to worry about, and how long the right foods will sustain you if you are getting those things that are going to serve the body well. And I know that was a mouthful, but what I'm saying to you is there's some stuff out there that we're not thinking about that we will actually be able to live on if it just came down to, not being able to go out and purchase all of these big ticketed items to tuck away. And, depending on where you live and how you store these things, I mean, who knows? We just trusting that we are doing what we need to do to provide for our families. And it's by your faith that I believe you will be okay or not okay. And so I would say stuff like honey, uh, nuts, in the butter form, nut butters, and of course, if you have raw nuts and things like that, you would want to, try to tuck them away, say in a freezer, um, because even if you were to dry them out, um, oils can go rancid, and all nuts have some type of oil in it, and some more than others. So you would have to be careful how you're storing that up. Um, Herbs, you know, these type things that you can actually dehydrate yourself and put aside, because I'm gonna tell you, there's people from our past, and they are still here, that can tell you they didn't have the luxury of going out and buying all of these canned goods and rushing out and getting the mason jars and all of these other things that we're doing right now. They didn't have that luxury and that type of money to be able to go out and do these kind of things. I would not dare tell you not to store all that you can, but what I am saying is focus more on those things that are going to serve the body well for the longest period of time, give you the nutrition that you need, and keep you running. Um, Ayurvedics is something you really would want to look into at this point, I would say, when you're looking for foods that are able to sustain you, that are not your typical full course meal. you know, there are people that actually live on just honey. You have some people say, well, I don't eat honey because, when you take the bees are actually preparing that honey for themselves. And when we go out there after they did all the hard work and take their honey, then, what happens to them? Well, when you are doing it in a humane fashion, when you're harvesting your honey, just leave the bees some honey to get through, you know, that particular season until they get ready to make some more. Um, and so honey is very, very, very valuable. I'm talking raw honey. And there is a certain way to even use the honey. I was doing some research and just came across the fact that honey is best warm served in warm water versus hot scalding water, because somehow it does something to the chemical process whenever you put it in hot scalding water, which makes it, um, it was said, somewhat poisonous in that way, versus just putting it in warm water. So yeah, things like nuts, again, fruits, invest in fruit trees. Try to grow yourself some banana trees. These things are all loaded with a lot of what we need. And you will be surprised at what you can live on. You know, we're putting too much thought, I think, into um, starving to death. And and I'm not saying you shouldn't be concerned. I'm just saying balance out your thought process on this thing, because some people are literally just going insane because they don't know what to get. They don't know what to do. They don't, they can't. They are in a disadvantaged situation right now from being able to gather some of the things that we have the opportunity to just get up and go to the store and get right now. And so, by no means do we want to make these people feel uh, paralyzed, because we're telling them you gotta have this, you gotta have that. I would say get what the body needs to um, be sustained, and that is like a little sugar source, um, you know, a protein source, which lentils are awesome. Stock up on you some lentils, um, nuts, because of the different minerals and vitamins and different things that nuts can that can offer you. Um, yeah, look into those things and stop allowing people to make you feel like you're at the end of the road, because you didn't run out and get all of this extra stuff that they could lose at the twinkling of an eye, whether it be through confiscation or whatever, you know, just if you'll focus on what the body need, I cannot stress that enough. I think you'll find that you don't need uh, to do as much as we have been doing. Um, it's a lot of scare tactics out there, and it's a lot of information that is very, very um, valuable and true. And do your best. Just do your best, and don't allow yourself to become too entangled with things that are going to make you feel like you're just not going to make it if you don't have what they have. Your life is, you're doomed because you didn't go out and get all of these different devices that were not available to our ancestors back then. And again, some of these people are still living right now to this day that can tell you how they made it through during those cold winters and hot summers and food shortages. And I mean, my hats, shoes, everything comes off to these people that have made it through those times. Um, so yeah, just be diligent in whatever you're doing in this season, and learn some discipline, some sort of discipline for yourself, especially your eating habits, and not just for yourself, but you know, uh, uh, um, teach these things to your children and show them by you being an example. Lead by example, so that they will understand and know what to do in the case of an emergency or things just go bad. So again, this is our F bomb on fasting, and fasting is something that is very necessary. It can really help you to become very disciplined. Um, and then on the spiritual note, you are able to tap into different things that you previously were not able to tap into, because heck, there's just no space there for you to be able to, because your body was trying to process and deal with so much that any spiritual downloads that's trying to come through, because trust me, your body is always connecting, with that realm. You just can't really filter out, or even let anything in to filter out, to be able to walk away with something spiritual that you can use. So there is no real uh what would I say, uh instruction, or word I'm looking for. There's no real remedy, I guess I would say, to it. Just do it. You know, um, try intermittent fasting, and then maybe try uh, one meal a day. Try going a whole day. Some people have went way longer. Um, and it brings me also to the point of water, because some people can't just dry fast. Water is one of those things that the body does need, um, in a fluid of some sort. And with your water, what I would like to see you begin doing is blessing your water, wherever you get it from. Because we have to understand, because we are energy and everything is energy, there are certain energies that attaches itself to the things that we bring home from the grocery store. Um, Water, it has been proven, water takes on the energy that you give it. Um, I've actually demonstrated it. It was on my other channel, which I'm going to tap back into that channel as well, Organized Earth Network. But I had a video on there, and it was showing me and my daughter using orgone energy, and it was showing how the structure of the water changed once we introduced it to that energy. And then there's I forget his name, Asimoto. I know I'm probably not saying that quite right, but this was a guy that actually experimented with the words that you speak to your water. It was just amazing to see what happened when positive words was spoken to the water. And it was amazing to see what happened when negative words were spoken to the water. And not only spoken to the water, but even when a positive word was written on that water, it made a difference. And when a negative word was written on there, it just showed that the structure of that water, when that negative word was spoken or written on there, it was like a chaotic pattern, just chaos. You know, even when certain music is played, um, and you on a certain frequency, and that's a whole nother subject that could stood to be talked about a whole lot more than what we do. The water, it actually changed in structure, and absolutely amazing, amazing. You know what we have the power to be able to do, but because we don't know, or because it's something that we've never heard, we run from it, because I remember coming up, as far as religion was concerned, we were taught not to even ask questions about things that puzzled us, that was in the Bible, you know, things that we just couldn't grasp. We were told just believe it. And I'm like, you do realize the Bible has been written many, 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 many times over, right? You do realize that some of the words that are in there did not even exist when it was first written, right? You do understand that words have origins, and if you go back to some of the origins of these words, that's not what it means or was meant in the Bible, right? You do realize that, you know, and that's not to attack the Bible by no means. Do read it. But understand that, the words that we speak, they are very, very, very powerful. I've said it before. Words have presence, words have power, words have prophetic implications with no geographical location. We could send a word anywhere, and it'll beat you there in your physical form, and it will accomplish what you set it out to do based on your energy, what you're vibrating on, your frequencies. And so I just want to drop in and talk a little bit about fasting, the importance of it, try to help you to understand how doing it and starting now will be a help to you, trying to let you know that there may be days that you may only have that tablespoon of honey in a 8-ounce bottle of glass of water, warm water that you've prayed over, and it could sustain you and take you throughout the day. We're just accustomed to eating certain things, and certain things, as I grow in knowledge, I do understand was not made for the body, not be- because of who we are and what we are made of. It was not made for the body. So give fasting a try. Do come back, let us know how it went for you. I could tell you're gonna see a difference in how you feel in your life, your strength, your thoughts. I know for sure how it makes me feel, um, going without, giving my body a rest. Like right now, today, I feel full of energy. Got up, had my honey, had my water, and I actually put neem and turmeric into my honey and water, and I drank that. Uh, and I also had some natural peanut butter that I put a banana in and ran it through the blender, made a smoothie. You could add almond milk to it. You could add water. It's up to you. And yeah, just let your body dictate to you what it needs. And I'm telling you, you will not go wrong with that. So, all right, I've already been talking about 30 minutes. I really didn't want to go over 20, but here we are. You know, the attention span is short. You got to make it quick nowadays. All right, y'all. So, until next time, we love you over here at Green Life Garden and Home DIY channel, and we look forward to seeing you on our next video. Peace and blessings. One love.